So personal experience for me is actually I had an early menopause. So quite unusual for people in my sort of age group. And I found out about that having gone to the doctors earlier this year on the advice of my manager, because I discussed a few sort of symptoms and issues with her, and she said, why don't you just go and get it checked out? So I was experiencing kind of real struggles sleeping, a little bit of flushing, but not too bad, not as bad as I know a lot of people suffer, and then just kind of a bit of brain fog as well. I think sleeping for me has been the worst thing. So it's a lot better now, but for probably a couple of years actually, and I think because my age hadn't made the connection until sort of more recently, yeah, some nights probably 3-4 hours of sleep, so that kind of sleep deprivation was really quite significant, and then I wasn't sure whether that was what was making my kind of, you know, I was forgetting things, walking into rooms, not knowing yeah, why I'd gone in there, forgetting what I was doing from minute to minute. So that was the biggest impact for me. So I've got a really supportive manager. So my manager's been very open about her own experiences, and actually helped me kind of make the connection with some of the things that I'd kind of, you know, just said jokingly that I was experiencing, that, oh, maybe it's worth kind of checking that out. So I've been really fortunate with that. I guess fairly limited actually. So I think menopause is something that's not been particularly discussed until more sort of recent years, and I think, you know, Davina McCall's got a lot to, you know, it's been really helpful actually in terms of raising awareness. So I think for me, obviously I knew what it was, I knew it would come. I hadn't made a personal connection myself though, for a variety of kind of reasons. So I think there's a lot more kind of awareness now, and I think we've got a bit of a responsibility to share some of that knowledge with colleagues, because I wish I'd known sooner and got some support sooner. So obviously I'm the Director of People and Culture within the James Paget, but I'm also the HR Director Lead for Wellbeing for the system. So I've got a big responsibility about raising awareness of menopause within my trust and across the system a bit more generally. And I think we're all at kind of slightly different stages with that. And I think we've got a lot more to do with it. So I think it's just about, number one, kind of opening up the conversation that this is an okay and a good thing to talk about. And number two, kind of thinking about how it impacts people differently. We all get impacted in different ways. Some people are fortunate and not at all. Some people, you know, to real kind of extreme. And just looking at on a very kind of individual basis, we can make adjustments and put appropriate and kind of relevant support in place. I just think it's really important that people are aware of it. So NHS Health and Social Care is a predominantly female workforce. So large numbers of women within the age group that will typically experience menopause. And actually knowing the impact that it has on people, then, you know, we need a good awareness of that so we can wrap appropriate support around and keep people, you know, feeling included and understood and able to kind of do their best in their jobs at work.